So in this video, let's add some more some windows and some interior walls. So this interior, these windows, we can just add. We can really just put them anywhere, and then we can adjust them later once we get the walls in. I'm looking at my plan, and I can see that there's 2 more windows for these bedrooms, the master suite and the 3rd bedroom. So I'm just going to copy the same window around, and we can change them later. So if you want to place a window over here, you can go into the window command again to place another window. Or if you want to place a window, you see it's a different window than the ones that we already have, you can right click on a window or any element and then go create similar. It will create the similar window that you had before. And as you can see, depending on the side of the wall that I put my cursor on, it places it either one side or the other. Again, it doesn't matter because after you've placed it, you can flip it if it puts it in the wrong way. So let's look at our plan and see if we have any other windows. So we got another window here and another window in the back there. So just hit copy, copy one there, right click, create similar, put another window there. And then what I discussed in the other videos, I'm going to have to adjust this because there's actually a bump out here, so like a bay kind of window in the dining room. So I'm just going to take a few dimensions off of here just so I can get it close to what they show on the plan. And as we discussed, it's not super critical that we are so exact, so it's just a guideline. Let's see, so it's about 1.4.5. Looks like it starts about 2 feet from the wall. And this bump out is 10 foot roughly. And I'm going to assume those angles are 45. In the measure tool you do have a angle measurement, I believe. So you can measure the angle. Oops, try that again. And it looks like it's roughly a 45-degree angle here, which is what I was going to assume anyway, and probably make it a 45-degree angle because that's easier for them to construct. So what do we figure? 2 foot over to this bump out. Let's figure out, and actually that should give us enough information. So I'm going to right click on this wall, hit create similar, place the wall out here, and it's 1.4.5. I'm going to place it at 1.5, so I have nice round numbers. Right click, create similar. Oops, that was select previous. Let's see, where am I facing? Finish face exterior, so I can grab that corner. If you've picked on a face and you noticed it was going the opposite way here, that the interior side was on the exterior, you can hit spacebar to flip it before you place the wall. We can get 135 degrees, it's a 45-degree angle. And now we can throw in our dimension. And what did we say? It's about 2 feet to that corner, so we can select both of these, hit activate dimension, and set it at 2 feet. And then from here it was 10 feet over, so we can put a dimension on there. And then I can mirror, so just like in CAD, there's lots of different options for modifying your drawing. So you can mirror by drawing an axis line, or you can mirror if you have an element you want to mirror around. So if you have a wall, if I wanted a mirror across this wall, I would pick this axis to mirror, but on this I wanted the center line of this 10 foot, so I'm going to draw my own axis. And you can see it placed it there. But it's good in my dimension over to be the center of these intersections. And so I'm going to move it over there just to make sure I still got my 10 feet. And I do. So the other thing, so now that if we were to go to trim this wall, we would lose the other end of that wall. And it's going to give you a warning that it's your unjoining elements and you're going to lose that. So I'll hit escape. Before I hit this, I'm going to go to the modify tab and then hit slice. So there's a way to, let's see, is it cut? No, I don't think it's cut. Split element, so that's what we want, SL. You can split an element with a gap. So you could split it and then define the gap, but we just want to split this element so that when we cut it, or when we trim it, it will leave the other end of the wall and we can trim that wall. And so now we have a bump out. In this condition, we're going to want to modify our floor line because we made the floor. Not a big deal because you can just come in here and add your floor lines. If it doesn't snap, that's not a big deal. We can just get the lines in here and then align, the align button, and align it to the face of stud. Same thing with this detail line, this boundary line. We're going to have to hit SL to slice it again, or come up here to slice, and then we can trim around here. And any modifications that we do, we have to remember that we also have a structural beam system or joist system underneath here that we're going to have to update as well. So if we go over to our structural plan, let's name this so we know what it is, and we'll just call it framing plan. No, we do not want to rename the level because that would rename our level to structural framing plan. We just want it to continue to be named level 1. I am going to rename the level 1 architectural plan to we'll just call this floor plan. Because we made a copy, it shouldn't give us a warning about renaming it to renaming level 1. Let's open our framing plan so that we do it while I remember. As you can see, it didn't extend these joists because we need to adjust them. So we'll do all of this. We'll have to do all of this stuff, adjust the footing, and everything else. So let's highlight the beam system here. And actually, here's a nice way to do this. So we already know that we've got this profile, so we can copy these lines here from the floor and then paste them into our boundary for our beams. So I'm going to actually use this to trim and then paste in. Control-Shift-V will paste in the same place. Or actually, I think I changed that in my keyboard shortcut. So I think I have Control-Shift-V is aligned to current view. So if you've got something in a view that's aligned to another view, let's say we're on the second floor, it'll paste it into here in the same exact space so we can get these entities. This doesn't always work depending on what elements you're trying to place. And so there's a lot of different options here, but I use align to current view to get this in the exact same spot. All I have to do is trim up these, and then also I have to align these to that that header joist that we made here as well. But we can clean all that up once we get this updated, and then I'll have to update the stem wall and everything underneath as well. So we can worry about that when we do our floor framing plan. And also, I'll probably make this stem wall that's beneath. So if we move our section or cut a new section, I'll probably make this stem wall come out here and round this corner off, so that the footing follows a path out here and then maybe jogs back under here. Whatever's easiest for them to frame. So we'll get that cleaned up later. But for now, we'll just get this bump out in here so that it looks like our floor plan reference. We can take a measurement of this window. Now, I don't have an elevation of this side, and that's okay. We can just make it up to whatever we want to be. You can make this an 8-foot window centered in there. So if we hit window, there's probably not an 8-foot window in here, but that's okay because we'll just get something close, and then we can modify the values for this window. So if we go to edit type, we can see that the height is the 5 foot and it's 6 foot wide, and so we want to duplicate, and we'll want to add 24 inches. So this will be 96 inches wide. Hit OK. Make that 8 feet. And it should give us our 8-foot window. Now if we look at the elevation on this side, we can see the family automatically updated the window, and it stretched it out and made this all equal. See how it was originally? It just, in the family there are parameters that control where these window mullions are, and so it just made it wider. We can come back later and add some additional detail or even change the window out completely, but getting the families in as a placeholder is a good place to start. So we got that window in. Let's go look and see what else we have in around this footprint. We got a door. Looks like they've got some kind of side light, or maybe they meant for this to be a sliding door. Yes. Kind of hard to tell with this image, but that's okay. I think I'm going to make it into a sliding door or another type of door. I was thinking maybe French doors out to the. And this is the kind of thing you can do if you, as you're going through and doing your weekly forums and you're seeing different elements, architectural elements you like, that you can kind of incorporate those in your building. So let's go to doors. We'll do residential exterior. I'm going to do these full glass doors. I might change these later if they don't really match the look that I want. And I'm going to put in this 72-inch by 96 door in this dining area and kitchen area. Just going to load that up. And you can see it there in the elevation. And now it's starting to look more like a house as we get more windows and elements in here. Let's take a look at our reference. Looks like they've got another door into this laundry room on the exterior, and then we've got a garage door. Let's get those added. For the laundry door, maybe we just want a 36 by 8-foot door. That's too fancy, I think, for a laundry door. So let's load in a different door. So for this, we can actually go into inserts because we don't need to necessarily be in the door command, and we'll load a family and go into door. Let's load in a garage door. Oh, I like this garage door. Just get that in here while we're at it. Hit door again, and then we'll place our garage door. I'm probably not going to want a single garage door too, so we can edit the type and width so that it's a double garage, or even look for a family that's a double garage door. Let's load another family in.
You're at the same place I am, yes.
Let's see, I'm going to do this half glass wood clad door. Now that that's loaded in, we can come in here and change it to that door type. Kind of matches a little bit better with the windows and doors that we have in here already. And we got our garage door. I'm going to go look again. Actually, I think this garage door needs to be the other way, so I can hit space. You can see in the 3D view that it has like the rails for the rolled up door here. So I'm going to look and see if we've got a better garage door. Garage door flush. So, you know, there's probably some better garage doors in here, but I don't really want to look too hard for that right at the moment. There might be some details work that I do later. I'm going to make this garage door, let's see, its width is 8 feet. We can just look up at a standard garage door size, but I'm going to make it, let's try right away. So we're just going to cancel this, and for now we're going to make 2 garage doors because I don't feel like looking up the garage door size. And we could just make it a double garage here instead of a single double car garage. Depending on what you like, that might be a better look for you, but you could also just take this dimension here. That's a good idea. I'm glad you mentioned it. So it looks like it's about 18 feet wide. So we can make, we can actually do that. Use a double or just make a single. What's 18 feet in inches? 18 times 12 is 216. And I'm interested to see what it's going to do to that family when we adjust the width. And it looks like that parameter's in there to automatically align and center these mullions. So we can just take from the grid to the center line of this garage door. Another thing, when you have dimensions that are placed, if you want to make an element equal, there's a little equal that's crossed out here. You can click equal and it'll equal it up inside that space between those 2 dimensions. So we're good. What else on this building? Looks like they've got some windows into the garage as well. So let's add some more windows. Probably don't want these big windows in there, so maybe we'll do just some fixed windows, or let's see. What kind of windows do we want? Maybe double one. Seems like kind of garage. Nah, I want these ones here. Let's see how those look. Works good for me. And again, anything we put in right now, as we're going through this process, we can change it at any time. So if I wanted to make these equal, again, you can do that. Now they're equally spaced at 8 foot in the wall, and I like that. I like things to be equal. So if you try to delete a dimension that's equal, you're going to get a warning that says dimension that has equal constraints being deleted. The elements will still have the constraint, so you can push unconstrained to remove that equal constraint, or you can hit OK and leave the elements constrained. So I can hit unconstrained, and now I can move them freely. If I were to delete and just hit OK, these elements will be constrained, and they'll say, hey, these are supposed to be equal. Do you want to remove the constraints? And then you can hit yes, or hit escape if you don't want to. So I'm going to unconstrain those, and let's see what other windows. So yeah, that looks like that's it for those windows. Now let's get into making the interior walls. So we go to the architecture tab, or type our wall type. Here we have our basic 6-inch wood stud wall type. They're likely going to be 2x4 walls on the interior. I don't see one that's like that, and they've got some interior metal stud partitions loaded in. But well, let's just, I'm going to just start with this wall that we have here. I can edit the type before I place the wall. Hit duplicate. Call it interior 2x4 wood stud. Hit OK. Then don't forget to edit your properties by taking out the exterior finish layers. We can leave the 1/2 inch plywood, and we'll change that to, actually I'm going to cancel it because I just deleted a layer that I didn't want to delete. We're going to delete these membrane layers.
Don't need any though.
Delete that membrane layer. We're going to delete this finish layer, and then we'll change it to gypsum wallboard instead of plywood. Change this to finish 1, and now we have our 1/2 inch gyp board on top of our 2x4 stud interior wall. And we'll have to add this as a wall type just like the others. And now we can place this wall. And now we'll have our interior wall. On the floor plan it looked like there was, this wall was aligned. It actually looks like they're using 6-inch stud wall, which I think I want to do that along this wall. Because it looks like they've got, we're not sure what these are. It's probably a fireplace or a built-in media closet. It says media center here. Dining hearth room, so that's probably a fireplace. They almost both look like a fireplace, but we can do whatever we want here. So let's just copy this, over, and make a duplicate it and make this into a 2x6 wall. Interior. And all we have to do is change this to 5.5. Oops. 5.5 inch wall. And now we've got our 2x4 interior wall. You can hit align the gypboard layers. For this instance, I don't want this wall to join with this wall. So I'm going to select disallow join, and I'm going to trim extend to this wall here. And we could have let it join. That's not too bad, but I like to show that this wall is a continuous exterior bearing wall and that this wall is an interior non-bearing wall. We can actually extend this all the way to the other side as well. Looks like they've got this straight wall here. And let's take a dimension on this other side. So this looks like from here to here. We'll call that 3'6". And let's look at the rest of this. Looks like this bathroom is centered. So we can draw a dimension here. It's about 15'4". Looks like it's centered between these two bedrooms. So let's just draw the outside wall so that we can get this laid in. The wall. We can trim these walls. And it appears to be centered, so let's just grab these dimensions here from the outside corner. Let's go to the center of these walls. And back to this grid. And so what do we figure 2 foot 2.5?
You gotta kill something.
call that 12 foot 2 on both sides. From the grid to the center of that wall, grid to the center of that wall. And it looks like we're close to this 15 foot 4 in the middle. 15 foot 4 or 11 and a half. But let's look at this interior dimension. So if this interior dimension is meant to be 12 foot 2 for the room size, then that our dimensions might not be quite accurate. At least to a 12 foot 2 interior dimension room. So we'll call that 12 foot 2. And for some reason that dimension is not activating. It's not giving me the option to activate.
Yes, I have it for you.
And it could be because we have this other dimension string. Let's just kill that. A lot of this is just trial and error. Like for some reason it doesn't want to. See now it's letting us into that dimension. And so let's see, 14 foot 7
At the price of losing my stuff
is what we have here. And what's our outside to outside dimension? 14 foot 11 and a half. I'm just going to check back with the model, or with the reference plan.
Okay.
That looks okay because it looks like I'm actually not quite getting that outside corner there. And I may have some other dimensions wrong, but that's okay because we can just keep going through and fixing it. So it looks like it is 12 foot 2, 12 foot 2, 40 foot 5 and a half. Let's take that overall dimension. This is the kind of the process you'll have to do as you're going through, kind of matching. So right now I'm showing 40 foot 6 taking the dimension, so that looks right. 12 foot 2 and a half, and so it looks like they've got 15 foot 2. So there's some kind of dimension bust here, and that's okay because this isn't exact. This is just again our reference. So I think I'm just going to leave it for now. I'm going to add these vertical walls. You can see I can just place them wherever, and then use the dimension strings to then modify these interior walls. These interior doors, so let's get these walls set first. I'm going to kill some of these dimensions. It's locked. So we'll just measure from that corner and then assume the other side is the same or pretty close. So it looks like 2 foot 6 from those corners. And this is often the kind of stuff you'll have to do in an architecture office if you're trying to recreate a floor plan or, follow something that somebody else has done. Maybe they did a sketch. You'll have to kind of try to recreate the same dimensions if you don't have a CAD plan to follow. It looks like there was a framed opening in here too, so let's, if you go to door, I believe they do have framed openings in here so that it's not an actual door, it's just a passage. And let's see, so they have a door opening here, and we can adjust this to have molding, but for now we'll just get this door opening in here. It should be easy enough to change the width like we did before. I think these interior doors, they're usually not as tall as your exterior, so we can make them 7 foot or 6 foot 8. So for now we'll just leave it, and we'll put in an interior door. Sure, we'll probably save just in case. So let's put an interior door. Let's just put a 30-inch door in here on both sides. Let's take a look at my plan. So it looks like they show them swinging the other way. So, oops, that one was correct. So yeah, these are 6'8" high by 2'6" wide, which is pretty common. Typically, you want to leave about 4 inches for the jamb. It gives you enough room to put the molding and everything in there. So we can align that. And then align the doors. So what else do we have here on this side at least? And so it looks like we got some pocket doors going into this restroom and this kind of communal bathroom. So it looks like they've got a nice little sink for each room, a little closet, kind of makes it a nice little changing area, and a pocket door on each side, and we can find those families. So I think that will do it for this video. It's just a continuation on how to add the doors and the windows and start dimensioning your plans. So you can start adding your strings in here to get your doors and windows dimensioned. All that we're going to require on the final is to have the exterior dimension. So you'll have your overall dimensions.
Yes.
You'll have all your openings dimensioned.
Go.
And so that should be sufficient for this exercise and to turn in your floor plan for this next week. So in the next video, we'll kind of show how to finish up, well, not finish up, but just to throw some dimensions on your framing plan and get that on a sheet. Alright, so we'll see you next time.